I'm going to start to share my screen shortly, but before I get into that, I just thought it necessary to spend a minute or two to just thank my team. I mean, when I think about how this started, January 20 what? John, January 20, was it April? 2022. That's last year. Okay. April 22, but the seed for this was sown January 2022. What 2022, 2021? 2022. When one of my girls woke me up with a New Year wish, telling me how the little I was able to do with her has translated to her now living a dream and how she couldn't thank me enough and all of that. And that just got me thinking to say that, wait a minute, how many people can I reach if I try to do it one by one like this? Why don't I just start something that could reach a number of people? So that's why we are here. So April 2022, we started, and now we're here. Certainly, we've gone over 1 year. I just think it is apt and fitting for me to start this session by thanking my team. I want to particularly thank John, JT we call him. He's been the producer of this program, always worrying about how do we make it better, how do we make it sharper, how do we make the content come out better. Every time you get those videos at the end, he's the one working on it. I don't know if anybody has seen recently that the quality of the videos have even gone up. It's simply because he is tinkering with how do we not use the video of my laptop, do we use another camera, and all the mixing and matching that he does. This is in addition to all the other things that we do on a daily basis, sometimes till very late. So John, thank you so much for all that you do. I'd like to thank my content creator and graphic artist, Mrs. Adediran. Every time you see her design, her flyer, she's the brain. We always fight. No, I don't want it this way, no, that way. But eventually, we get it out. So thank you, Okpe, for all that you do. And for the others, Bumi, tmak, Feromi, and all the others that just contribute one way or the other to get this to happen, I just want to say thank you very much for everything that you've done. And I'm hoping that the Lord tarrying and sparing our lives, we will do it again, bigger, better. Next I think it's also good for me to thank. Where is John? Is John here? Let me see. There are some constant people that I know that even when Yinka abandons me and she doesn't remember for months. Where is John? John Abe. Yes, John. Thank you very much. I think I need to give you a special shout out. You are one person that I know will always make it out to be here. And I'm certain that it is not because you do not have anything to do, but you just think this is useful for you. And I think in addition to being useful, you also probably recognize the fact that your coming around gives encouragement, which I personally appreciate. So thank you very much. So in that light,
thank you too.
I will like to get started. I can see some names that I necessarily do not know. So because of that, I'm just going to take a few minutes to just play back and do our usual recap. tmak is my name. I am the promoter of this NGO that is called DLI, which stands for Development, Empowerment and Leadership Initiative. We are an NGO that we are very passionate about world transformation, and we believe that the world can be transformed one man at a time, one community at a time. And we've been at this now for over 10 what am I saying? Almost 20 years now, and we've been very busy about human capital development. We are trusting God that next year we can start venturing more into our push for the infrastructural development. One of our products in that NGO is what we call HeyCoach, which is what we are doing today. HeyCoach is a monthly crowdsourcing community development program that we run, where we bring ideas together to help professionals, whether you are working as an employee or you are trying to become an employer. We see how we can share everyday tips, leveraging each other's experience, relying on each other for this journey so that we can be more successful. There is practically anything anybody is trying to do today that somebody has not done before. The whole idea is do not make that mistake again. So learn. And sometimes it's expensive, sometimes it's even time demanding to be able to find a coach, book appointment, and then sometimes you don't even have that luxury. You get to act now, something comes up at work, which is why we try to have this service as an on-the-go service. So if you do not know about it, we have a Telegram group where you can join, and you have anything, your boss just irritated you, you feel like slapping him, or an opportunity comes, you are thinking, should I just resign now? You can quickly drop a question, and we can jump on it and share experiences. And if you do not even want to be known as the one dropping the question, just look for one of the admins of the group, drop the question with him or her, and then we'll bring it onto the group and we will learn. That's the whole essence. And to end the year, we started this series about 3 months ago, September, October, 2 months ago, this is the third month, September, October, November. It was all geared towards ensuring that we make the best of 2023, but more importantly, that we start very strong into 2024. So it was about finishing 2023 strong, starting 2024 strong. This module is where we anchor that session, that series, not necessarily because the effort will end, but by way of it being our flagship for the month, we intend to anchor it today. However, for anybody who still needs help, because it's a journey, and this is one of the most important things you can do for yourself. If you get this done today and you keep at it, you certainly need help as the year progresses, but it will be a lot easier, and we will be here to help you as much as we can. As I said at the beginning, this series started 3 months ago, 2 months, what do I call it now? Is it 2 months ago or 3 months ago? It just started in September. We started this series in September that we called Looking Back to Look Forward. The whole essence behind this was to see how we could reflect on how 2023 has gone for us as individuals, our wins, our wobbles, our desire, aspirations, and then to see what we could make of the rest of the year at that point. And even right now, it's not too late. Yes, it looks like the year has only like three weeks left, thereabout, because once Christmas is a few days away, everything kind of comes to an end and then picks up middle of January. But still, you can get some things done. So what we did then was to look back on 2023. We challenged everybody to see what they could learn. But more importantly, we said, let us set a goal to chase for 2023 that we could still get done. That was September. The last month, we now started looking forward into 2024. I will be providing a summary today. I will not be going through that training anymore. But JT, please, can you drop the link to the 2 editions of Looking Back to Look Forward? So anybody who is really interested in it should please go and watch, so that what we are doing today may then make complete sense. I will not be going into too much detail about that, but what we tried to do was to provide like a boot camp DIY session where we went through step by step how to get yourself into winning a trophy for 2023, but more importantly, how to become very intentional about 2024. And it's very interesting that for the first assignment, one person sent in, I don't know whether it's a guy or a girl, made a submission, and I hope he or she's on her way there. But it's interesting to know that for the October end deal that we said by the 18th of November, we want to see submissions, I actually got 4 or 5. I've gone through with all of them. One of them has even done another iteration and sent in. And I'm excited about that because this is really not standard. Usually you don't have more than 1% of people that will respond. And I will get to it in a minute. And I'm challenging those of you who are here. It's up to you. You have the choice to either live your life by design or you live your life by default. It bears repetition for me to say that because we do not have to do anything for the sun to rise and for the sun to set, most people are just interested in floating. But I can see on my screen, nobody drifts into their destination. You do not succeed by accident. You don't just wake up one day and find out, oh, I'm a graduate. Well, I did not know how it happened. It doesn't happen that way. You do not become anything and you just wake up and say, oh, how did this happen? It doesn't go that way. There are intentionality that is involved every step of the way. So it's therefore completely up to you. Because like I said, and I'm going to say it again, the bigger part of these exercises is not even the result that you get. The bigger part is the person that you are slowly become. All right, Faisal is asking that we share the links on Telegram. Yes, we will do that. So the bigger part of this is not what you get. I wish I had the time. I was going to show my graduation picture. I didn't go. I took pictures of my masters. It's exciting, not because of the graduation, not because of the certificate, not because of the gown. Apart from the fact that I really want to lecture, it doesn't put money in my pocket right now. It doesn't really move my needle. But you have no idea the pleasure I got taking those pictures. And like I said, I say it again. Many people are unhappy, not just because of where they are, but because they can't see the way out. That is why psychology says one of the predictors or the factors that leads to joy is progress. Waking up every day knowing that you are not where you were yesterday and you have an idea of where you want to go tomorrow. It does not go straight. But one thing that is sure, you are not where you were. And as you begin to apply yourself to it, you make it happen because you won't drift into your destination. And nature has so designed it that the way to success is uphill. The way to success, the road to success is always uphill. Don't ask me why and don't question me. I do not know. That's how we all grew up to find it. The way to success is uphill. So this module is saying you have to be intentional because you will not just wake up one day and find out that you were successful. I'm not dwelling on this, but this is just this is a slide that shows a few people. Some of us may know them, some may not. But when you look at each one of them, you realize that they did not get here by accident. Hard work, diligence, intentionality. They applied themselves to it. The same is applicable to you. You want to win, you have to be intentional. And it is the reason why when I said I was surprised. I'm actually very surprised to find so many people responding this time, because statistics and science shows that most people would rather not do anything. They will hear it, they will like it, it will make sense, but it's hard. And since I don't have to do anything for the day to break, I don't have to do anything for the day to end, I don't have to do anything for the sun to set, I don't have to do anything for the sun to rise. Many people are interested in just floating and just bouncing around. It is unfortunate, but that is how it is. But the question you have to ask is, what heart do you want? When you don't do this hard work of taking your life by the scruff of the neck and getting very intentional about your life, you are going to deal with the hard of being at the receiving end of anything that happens. So putting the hard work is hard. Waking up and just floating is also hard. Having the discipline to exercise is hard. Having the discipline to put serious hours into your studies and into your project and into your professional exams and into your craft is hard. Being broke and having customers come and bang the table in your shop is also hard. Choose your hard. Having your reputation battered to that guy, you give him clothes, just wait for 1 year, will not go come out, is hard. But working hard to make sure that when you make commitment, you give it, is also hard. The choice is yours. What I've tried to do these last few weeks is to encourage you to choose the hard that gives you value, the hard that gives you control, the hard that leads you towards where you want to go. Because at the end of the day, what we are saying here is that do not live your life to chance. Don't live your life to chance. Be intentional. All right? Seek to control. Seek to own. Do not just be random about life. Make sure that as much as it lies within your capacity, you are intentional with the way you are living. That's all I'm asking you to do. That's all I'm inviting you to do. And because I have had the privilege of doing this for so many years, I do not know what else to do than to try to share with as many people as I know, because I owe my life, I owe my success, I owe everything I am today to this craft, to these tips, to these skills that I am sharing with you. It is therefore my hope and my prayer that somebody else today will catch this fire and become intentional. Intentional is an adjective. It means to do something on purpose, to become deliberate. What am I saying? 2024. Don't ramble into it. Don't stumble into it. Don't do it by accident. Get intentional. What do you want from next year? What would you do? What do you need to do to get it? Because it is all within your power to make 2024 different, to make 2024 a different year, to make 2024 a year that will count, not a year that you will just be counting. So I say it again, and I'm not just playing with words. Don't just count your years. Make your years count. Don't just count 2024 again. Make 2024 count. Be intentional. And for those who have been here, all I'm saying is, which one do you want to do 2024? Do you want to just be existing, or do you want to start living? It's open mic time. Can somebody jump on the call? Open your mic. Once it's not noisy, please just raise your hand and get ready to talk. What's the difference between existing and living? Yes. What is the difference? If you cannot talk, type. What is the difference between existing and living? Please go ahead, open your mic and talk if you can.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, everyone.
Yes, go ahead. Please introduce yourself so we know who is really talking, because John Titilo is just in front of me here. Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm Olayinka Longe.
Okay.
I think the difference between existing and living is just the intentional part of it. I'll cite an example.
Sorry, your line has gone off again. Yes, you are back. Go on.
Can anyone hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, I could just say I wake up 5 a.m. every day. I have my bath 6 a.m. I go out 7:30. I come back 6 p.m. because that is just the way it is, because that is just the norm. But being intentional means I wake up 5 a.m. because for me to be able to meet up with my task for the day, I have to wake up at that time. I have to get to work at so time for me to be able to meet up with my target. So if I'm just existing, I probably am just doing it because, okay, that's what everybody is doing. But if I'm being intentional, I am trying to live. I am doing it because I have a goal ahead of me that I'm trying to achieve, and there are steps that will take me towards achieving that goal.
Fantastic. Yes, I'm looking for more. I think I see Gracie's hand. Gracie, go ahead. And please, for those who have come in with the link that was shared that did not have to register, if you know how to if you know your way around it, you can actually rename your login to reflect your name so that we don't have 5 John Titiloyes here. We are wondering which one is the original. But Grace, go ahead, please.
All right, thank you, sir. Good evening, everybody.
Good
so
evening,
I'll say existing is it refers to just a mere survival, which is a state of being. Probably a person might be physically present but is not engaged or fulfilled by their experiences. So while living, on the other hand, is being vibrant, being engaged, fulfilling experience of life. So definitely it actually encompasses being actively participating, experiencing, finding meaning and purpose in everyday activities.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that makes it meaningful connection with some.
Fantastic. I love what you said. Connecting, participating, experiencing. Now, Titi Layo Awoniyi says living involves actively engaging with life, pursuing passions, and finishing and finding inspiration in experiences. Existing, on the other hand, implies merely going through the motions without a sense of purpose or intentional inspiration. Thank you very much, Titi. Very, very well said. Yes, anybody wants to chime in as well and simplify it. It doesn't even have to be this complicated. Anybody else? Because when you hear existing, it means that that person is not dead. So he's breathing, is alive. When we think of that person, we think in present tense. You will not talk about past tense. So think of somebody who is just going through the motion. I don't know what it is that said so. But when you think of our elementary Greek or elementary biology, characteristics of living thing. What's characteristics of living thing? Anybody? Characteristics of living thing. If you are in a good place, just open your mic and talk. Characteristics of living thing.
The characteristics of living thing are movement,
It can
production,
move, it can produce,
irritability,
it grows, it
sensitivity, and the like.
So the question is, what will you choose? For some people, 2024 has started. I've been this is my busiest period. I had to cancel a trip to be here. I dragged myself here looking for inspiration and energy, just not to be vibrating at a low level. Because I've also been encouraged by many people who have sent in there. Some people's 2024 has already started. The goal they want to achieve in 2024, they started taking steps in that direction. So the question I'm asking you is, what do you want to be? Do you want to live? Do you want to exist? One John Titiloye here, I don't know which one, no. Existing generally refers to being present or having been in a certain state, while living implies a more dynamic state involving biological processes and activities. Existing is a broader term that can include inanimate objects, while living especially pertains to organisms engaged in life processes. There are many professors here. I wish I can find them to come and teach us one of these days. Obiyemi Omowumi, I hope. Movement. Characteristics of living thing, production, nutrition. So this is what we are talking about. It is therefore up to you, and I don't want you to hear this as an academic conversation, please. I want you to please come home and pay attention. How did you spend 2023? Did you just exist? Did you really live? How engaged were you? Some are employed, and their life is just reduced to waking up, getting dressed, like Yinka said, showing up at work. Boss wants me to do this. My job duty is to do this. And then they close, and then they repeat the cycle 5 days, and then they repeat the cycles 4 weeks, and then we are now in the 11th month. There's nothing else to show. They've pursued nothing. They have failed at nothing. And so they have won nothing. Yes, they have some money in their pocket, but life is more than that. So what we are saying here is, how do you grow? How do you live? Okay? Angel is saying, living truly means to be present. Thank you. So that's what I'm saying. Bring it home. Own it. And if you then see what has changed in the picture, what I'm saying is bring your brain to it. Apply your mind. Bring your brain. Apply your mind. Bring your brain. Apply your mind. Don't let 2024 be just another year. Make it count. That's what we are saying. All right? And to get this to happen, I had put something together on how to really win, how to live your life, living your own life. How do you get to the point where you are not living anybody else's life, you are not running anybody else's race, you are actually living your life? That's what this series has been all about. And to summarize everything else that I've been talking about, I have compressed it into these 6 steps. If you have participated in the September challenge, you are already on this. If you have participated in the October challenge, you are already on this. If you have not participated in either of the two, it is not too late. The reason why we started this series in September is so that you don't get into January moping and wondering what does this year have, because it is in your hand to make it happen. So, whether you have been on the journey or you are starting now, this is the summary of everything we've been talking about over this last 3 months. It's about living your life. Please go to the chat box and say, I will live my life. Can you just type it there? And if you cannot mute, please tell yourself, I will live my life. Open your mic and say it or type it if you can. I will live my life. 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 It has to be you. You must be intentional. Don't just live for your boss. Don't just live for the salary. Don't just live for the ID card. I will live my life. 6 steps to living your life. If you have been on the journey before, this is not new. If you have not, please get started. And again, I'm not going to too many details. I just want to do a recap because today is to then get to the point where for those who have submitted, if they are here, I just want to take their permission to just share a few things, show a slide, show a table. I can also give you something even bigger than that goes for like 15, 20 years if you want to go that far. But bring this alive so that for those who care, they can get started. And if you need help at any point, December 31st, reach out. That's my own life's purpose. Building brand, building people, building systems, just building things, make things work. That's my purpose. So the very first step in this living your life is to establish purpose. Please, everybody say establish purpose if you can.
Establish purpose.
When you hear the word establish, what does it mean? Who can unpack the word establish for us? What does it mean? When you use the word establish, what does it mean? Or how does it work? How does establish work? Anybody?
Yeah, establish.
Good evening, everyone.
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead. The first person to speak, I can't see your name, but go on.
Is Grace. All right. So establish means to make something grounded, to affirm it,
Thank
make
you.
it stable.
Make it grounded, make it stable, affirm it. There's another voice. Yes, establish. You want to try?
Good evening. To bring something to existence.
Bring it to existence. Thank you, sir. So establish by the etymology of that word. Is it a one snap? Do you just snap your finger and something is established? What does it take? To do something, make something happen. OBME, I see you. Yes. What does it take to establish? Is it a one snap, a one-step activity, or how does it work? Anybody? Consistency, Angel, yes. My message is that it's a process. It's a process. If you were here, some people's purpose is very clear. Intuitively, they just know. But for most of us, we need to feel our way around it. Even for those who think that purpose is clear from the beginning, as you get to the next step here, you realize that I use that word again, establish. So you need to know your why. What's your life purpose? Why are you here? What were you sent to earth to contribute to humanity? What is that piece of the human jigsaw puzzle that you are the only one holding for your family, for your community, for wherever you are situated? Establish it. I use the word get direction. Destination is a bit difficult to do at once, but you must know the general direction that you are going, and then you now begin to work it out. Get that big picture. There is a word I'm using here, I will use at the next stop, which is emotionalize. We are emotional animals. We are emotional beings. Even our body, the way it is structured, everything that happens in your physiology goes through the emotional part of your brain, the limbic system, before it becomes cognitive. And that's why I say this every time. If you can relate with this, go to the chat box and chat yes. How many times have you smelled certain things? And that smell will take you to a place. It can be a perfume, it can be a food, it can even be the Harmattan haze. Something will just, you will smell something and it will take you to a place. How many people can relate to what I'm talking about? Or you smell a perfume and you remember a person. Or things that has very limited tangible things, but when you see them, they take you back somewhere. That's how emotional we are. How many times do you remember somebody and you can't remember the details of what happened between you and the person or where that person is, but you can tell whether it was a good experience or it was a bad experience. The guy is a good guy. Oh, very nice. What happened? You call somebody. What happened? I cannot remember, but I don't like the feeling. So, our emotions are extremely important. Whatever you are doing, if you can get to the point where you can emotionalize it, then you are on your way to establishing a purpose that takes you far. Purpose is foundational. Purpose is pivotal. When the use of something is not known, abuse, misuse is inevitable. So you want to live your life, spend time to establish purpose. The word establish means that it is not a walk in the park. It takes time, it takes effort. If you are able to establish purpose, the next thing is to then establish the expression. Many people get confused about this. If I find myself being creative, I am very imaginative. It can be expressed in different ways. I can express my imaginative purpose by being an artist that draws on canvas. I can express my imaginative purpose by being an inventor. I've seen a lot of videos online now. Somebody who didn't go to school and has been working on building an aeroplane that is now powered by battery and is building drones. Some are creative in that way. Some, their creativity is around fashion. They have eye for dress. They have eye for style. They have eye for color. They have eyes for color, what fit. But are you also aware that the software engineer is also an imaginative person? But his own imagination is applied in writing software. Even the software also has different sides. Some are back end, some are front end, some are user experience, all sorts of expression. You need to find how yours is expressed, because until you can find expression for your purpose, it will always remain a mirage. It will always remain a torture. You want to say, but you can't talk. You will be like a gagged person. So you need to find that expression. What is the form? How will it be presented? What are the choices that exist? How will you sequence them? There are people who have multiple expressions for their purpose. Which one will you chase first that can then birth the other and the other? If you don't sequence them well, you may not make the most out of them. What is the expression? How do you express it? All right? Then when you are sure with the expression, how do you then operationalize? This is where I have spent most of my time with those who have submitted already this week. The operationalization. It involves setting goals. What goals are you setting for 2024? It involves setting targets, identifying the milestones that lead to it, knowing which one to take before which one. What are your priorities? I was listening to last month's episode, and I remember the question about somebody wanted to do a qualifying exams in the office and then also need to take a music exam somewhere else. So which one do you take first? How do you decide? If you were not in that session, go listen, go watch. All adds up to where we are today. But you must be able to operationalize. If you cannot operationalize it, then you are only winking in the dark. Nobody can see you. So that's critical. But once you get through operationalization, you now have the headache of simulating. This is where you won't find this particular step explained this way in most other content. Simulation is where you practically walk through the journey before you get there. It's like you are almost tasting it. You break it down to steps. And I'm going to focus on one when I finish this, if time permits. Because I noticed a couple of ladies last week said that one of their target next year is getting married. And getting married for a lady is not straightforward, because they cannot marry themselves and they are not the one to propose. But it shocks you that you are actually in control of whether you're going to get married next year or not. And I'm going to show you. And that's simulation. What are the steps? What are the requirements? What are the dependencies? Put dates to them. These dates I'm talking about is not to say 2 weeks, 1 week. The dates I'm talking about is the date that says you open your calendar, you look at the date, and you put the date there. It involves you sitting down and building a vision board. One of the submissions I got this week contained vision boards from a lady, and I don't know if she will give me permission to share a part of her submission. But even me, that I wasn't the one with the vision, I was excited watching her vision board. She had the dream of taking her daughter on vacation, and she found a picture of a little girl dragging a suitcase. Even me, I felt like, okay, me too, I can do this. That's how powerful it is. Simulate. Make it bring it alive. Emotionalize it. You must feel it. The more you can connect these things to emotions, the deeper the emotions, the more powerful it is for it to run on its own, even when you've forgotten about it. So, 6 steps towards living your life for 2024 and beyond. If you have not started, it's a good time to start. If you have started, don't stop, because like I have somebody say, I don't know if it's a he or I think it's a he, that he wants to share his story with us. I'm looking forward to it. I hope many more will share, because I always have a lot to share. I came back from a retreat. You know, many of you do not know I'm a consultant. I build systems, I build organizations, I build products, I build people. I'm just passionate about productivity and sustainability. That's my passion. So, and this period is very busy for me because I'm going from one company to another, and we are designing what next year will look like. We are designing what 5 years will look like. I was with this client over this last weekend. I've been working with this client now since 2019. And at that time, it's a family business that's trying to grow. And I met the promoter while I was lecturing in one of my classes in Lagos Business School. I teach in Lagos Business School, by the way. So we just started talking. It was like a simple thing. Come train us on this. I went. They said we wanted to grow. And then we sat down 2019, 2020, shortly before COVID. And we set a 5-year plan. At that time, the revenue of the company was less than ₦1 billion. And we set a 5-year goal of 5 in 5. That's what we called it, 5 billion in 5 years. Ooh, and COVID came, and it looked like the world would come to an end, and they had to close their shops, and a lot happened. A lot happened. So this December now, we were doing a review as we wanted to do another 5-year going forward. You need to see how excited everybody felt. We now check the numbers. This year, so the 5-year was supposed to end next year for 5 billion, and this year they are likely going to cross the 4 billion, and there is a good chance that the 5 in 5 is actually going to be achieved. Like I said, when you set targets and you win them, it's far sweeter than when you just stumbled into it. It's not the same. So, when we talk about vision board and simulating, now the new 5-year now, even for organizations, they are creating a vision board for what that 5-year will look like. Everything I've told you is what I do on a daily basis. I've seen it transform organizations. I've seen it transform human lives. I've seen it transform individuals, seen it transform families. It works, but it's hard. because it calls for discipline, and I'm getting to it. So, 6 steps to living your life. 1 is purpose. You must establish it. 2 is expression. You must establish it. The third is operationalization. Break it down. Don't let it remain far away. Let it become more specific. Goals, targets, okay? Milestones that lead to it. In what priority level prioritization? We have done that twice now on this module. Then again, grind it a little more by simulating it. I don't use the word plan. That's what you will find. I use the word simulation. Think of how pilots are trained. They are trained through simulators. So go through the simulation. Imagine it. Close your eyes. Imagine it. Taste it in your mouth. Visualize it. Emotionalize it. Imagine the pleasure you will feel when it happens. Imagine the pain you are avoiding. Imagine the pain you will feel if you don't get it done. Make it real. Make it tangible. Make it obvious by creating the vision board. You will become a different person in the process. And that's the important thing for me. It is not so much of what you get. It's more around who you become. And if you become this super person who is able to make the most of life and what is in front of you, it does not now matter whether it is 2024 or 2034 or 2074, you will become better at it year on year. It does not matter whether it's about a degree or it is about a construction or it's about a product, about a project, whether you're an employee, you're an employer, it's the same. It works. It works. So, step number 5 is to then get going. If you have all these plans, you spend all your time doing it, but you never stand up to actually get it done. Until you do it, it does not get done. And this is where it is hard. But you find out if you follow this sequence and you have successfully established a compelling why, and you have been able to emotionalize it, you will find out that execution becomes easier. And if you need to find accountability partners, do, so that you can build the discipline. You must also trust the process when you are executing. There is a process it takes for fruit to mature. What I'm telling you is not magic. It takes time. When you want to plant maize or plant palm oil, they both go through different gestation period. You plant maize 3 months, 2-3 months, you are starting to eat. You want to do a palm oil plantation, probably like 7 years before you start to see anything coming. But because you are waiting for 7 years for plantation does not mean, for palm oil plantation, does not mean that the person who has planted maize is smarter than you or faster than you, or because you do not get it in 4 months, in 1 year, means that you are wasting time. They go through different gestation periods. So you must have faith in the process. But last and certainly not the least, is the need for you to now optimize. Nobody knows tomorrow precisely. Okay, Grace, I've heard you about the request for the slides. That's fine. Just that is what you are seeing here is not the same as what it is without presentation. A lot of things are hidden. A lot of things, it's the same thing I've used at different times, but I'll see what's possible. So it's about optimization. Nobody knows tomorrow. Nobody's precise. Nobody can beat his chest to say, yes, it's going to go this way. So you must learn how to seize the moment. You must learn how to go after it day after day. You learn, you grow, you change, you see what is possible, you try again, you fail in some, you win in some. I was trying to find a word for seizing the moment, and I was given this word, carpe diem. Never heard it before. Seize the occasion. You may think target 1 is the first for you to chase. Target 3 may present itself on a platter of gold. You're not going to turn your back and say, no, 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 no. I say I'm not going to make this 1 million until December. Now you have the budget of making the 1 million in January. Say, no, 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 wait. It's December, I've said. That's not how to do it. As you have made your plan, you begin to watch out, go after it. You are not God. You are not in control of all the variables. As things change, you seize the moment. Because they say things turn out best for those who make the best of how things turn out. I say it again. Things turn out best for those who make the best of how things turn out. When you have planned, you have established purpose, you have established your own expression, you have operationalized it, you have simulated, you have started to execute. You don't go to bed and close your eyes. You watch out. There are things to learn, opportunities to seize, opportunities to grow, opportunities to adapt. Remember, the purpose has been established. That is where you are going. The goals are clear. That is what you are going. So whether you think you are going to go by train or you go by road, and then somebody offers you a flight, you are not going to turn your back and say, no, my plan said I'm going to go by train. No, I don't know. I'm not going to go by flight. No, that's not what you do. You seize the moment, carpe diem. You learn, you adapt, you grow. And as you continue this, you will be shocked as to the kind of result you are going to achieve for yourself. You will be shocked. And that is the message that we have. So, this journey started September for most people. And I want to get to a point now where we can listen to their experiences, learn from them, because I'm sure you are tired of hearing this from me. The best way to predict the future is to create it. Are you willing to follow the heart of being intentional? Are you willing to seize the heart of running after it? Let's talk, ladies and gentlemen. So, Feishola, you got the floor now. Please just open your mic if you can, or if you want to type. What has the experience been? I got like 4 or 5 submissions. Are they here? I think I've seen Dara see me here. Do you guys want to share of your journey? What do you want to tell us? Because again, that is where this becomes, yes, I can see Ibrahim here. So who wants to go? This is open mic. Please, yes, Faishola, please unmute and start. We are all here.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm happy to be here. Actually, I ought to be joining every month, but because of my schedule, it's because I'm actually off today. That's why I'm able to join at this time. So I wanted to share my experience with you, how the encounter I had with you. I can't really say how I got to know about HeyCoach, but then I think I sent a message to you through the Telegram group about my challenge. I was in consulting for throughout last year, and then I wanted to, consulting wasn't paying as expected. So I was thinking of what next to do. And so I had a session with you. I remember you called me. I can't really, I don't know if you can still remember, we had a conversation about 2
I remember. Go ahead.
or 3 different times. And then you gave me an advice. So I went back into paid employee.
Sorry, we are losing you. You are going to repeat this story. We lost you from when you said you called. I called you. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Payments. I got a
Sorry,
new job
we
with
have
my
we have
resumption.
lost you. We have
And
lost
so
the juice.
by the
We have
special grace
lost
of
the.
God, I'm resuming.
Can you hear me? Can
And
you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
in the course of this year,
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? I don't know the story, so I would have told it. We have never met in person. It's not somebody I know one-on-one. Can you hear me? Yeah. I'm interested in this story. I hope he's able to get back.
It seems to
I
have
hope
lost connection.
I hope he's able to get back because I do not know the story, and I'm keen to. Agumbiade, I can see your hand. Thank you. Just hold 1 sec. Let us see if Ishola can get back.
okay, I am back actually.
Okay, so can you continue from when you said I called you? That's the last I think I can make sense of. So if you can come from that point again and flow.
I think we spoke about, about 2 times.
About 2-3 times, yes.
Yes, and so you advised me to go back into paid employment, but this time around to look out for opportunities that will give me a better experience or a better shot at consulting the next time I'll go back into consulting. So within 2 months after we had that session, I prepared myself, dusted my CV and everything, and I got a job in December. I resumed the first week of January this year, and though it was not the job I expected because of my level of experience, but then I got married in July.
Wow.
And by the special grace of God, I'll be resuming another job January next year. And in the course of this year, the session that I had with you has been what has kept me going, even though I've not had the chance of being part of a coach live session in the course of the year. But that one session I had was enough for me to keep firing on for the whole year. And I must say, I appreciate you. I appreciate the wisdom that God has given you. And I pray that God will continue to use you for this generation. I don't know, maybe we have some other people in this session that are not Christians, but I just pray that God will continue to give you wisdom to help more lives.
That's so touching. Thank you. I feel very encouraged. Very, very encouraged. Like I said, we have not met. I'm not even sure how we got my contact. And for those who are not sure, this is not about the reason why I have decided to go this route is to be able to reach more people. More people. So let me be open. I am very poor at marketing. I'm very poor at promotion. Even for my business, I struggle. I guess it's because of my journey. I just don't know how to make noise about anything. Even my birthdays, I feel like running away. I do not have energy for noise. So, but the reason why I've gone against the grain here is that I just have this pressure of this is my own purpose. Just contribute. I don't need to know you. But he sent me a message and I said, "Oh, let's talk." I think I was the one that called him. We went on for like, I think 2-3 different sessions. And up till now, I've never met him. I don't even know whether it's in Lagos or where he's. This has nothing to do with what you get back or whatever. This is just my calling. I just do it. So for those of you who can help us with promotion, because I think a lot more people need to hear this, help us with the broadcast, help us with the push. I am not good at that. I do not know how to do it. But if you can, that can be your own contribution to accelerating and giving wings to what we are doing. I'm happy that I've been able to help. I hope we can help more people. Yes, Agumbi Ade Omowumi, please go ahead. You got the floor.
Yeah, okay, good evening, everyone. So thank you, sir, for really what you're doing. It's a big one, and it's so impactful. Yeah, for me, HeyCoach started last year for me. I was at the stage when I was trying to find my footing with my network, so to say. So someone introduced me to a particular group owned by a certain church. And I ran it by my husband. I was actually excited to join the group because it was a professional group and the like. I ran it by my husband, and he was like, "No, it can't happen because I don't want something that's going to pull you out of faith, out of what you believe and the like." You see, that night I cried because I was trying to find my footing professionally, and around me I didn't see anything that would really assist me. And I was looking at probably this wood, and he said no. So I just sat back and I was like, what am I going to do? So I guess in passing, he just said, but there's one, and then introduced me to HeyCoach. I've not been so consistent, but I would say that for the few encounters I've had, it's been impactful for me. At the beginning of the year, I remember sharing my story as to trying to get a particular leave from my office and the likes. I got the leave. This year was more intentional for me. I was deliberate about things, a lot of things. And even though I'm yet to get the results I'm looking forward to, it's, from tonight's session, what you've said so far, it makes me look at it and say, oh, well, even though the results are not yet here, at least being intentional has been part of my life. And unlike before, when things were just sliding, I was just living life for family, children, job. At least now I can say, I'm doing this for myself. This is where I'm going. Yeah, I'm not done with the task of putting 2024 together, putting a 10-year plan together. But yes, I've started it, and I do hope to finish it this week. So for me, it's been a very tough year. It's been very difficult and challenging. And but along the line, I believe an opportunity came for me that I really wasn't expecting. But probably because of the things I've been able to go into this year, I was a little bit prepared for that opportunity. And yes, confirmation on the opportunity still ties to some of the things I need to do. But it's been a full year, and for me, I'm looking forward to more work in 2024, digging deeper in 2024, getting it better in 2024.
Thank you. I love the part that you the part just spoke about in passing, like the opportunities came that you were not prepared for. That's how life works, the person that wins is the prepared. So it doesn't go straight. It doesn't go straight at all. But as long as you are keeping your eye on the one that is within your control, then what happens is, as the opportunity presents itself, you are more prepared to seize it. And as you are seizing it, you look back and say, wow. Like I said, the story of that company, I was asking them, what do they think would have happened if we had not done all those preparations we did when COVID hit? You will not believe that even though this company is not a tech company, even though this company is not in any finance services type of company that they benefited from COVID, their best year was 2021, the year after COVID. And till today, is something that we are all still trying to find out what exactly was responsible. Because when you are prepared, fortune favors the brave. That's what they say. Fortune favors the brave. So I'm excited about that. Thank you very much for sharing. Dara Simi, please go ahead.
Hi, tmak. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, tmak.
Okay, for those, my producer is saying for those who can do video, please go ahead and do, but not, if you can't, it's fine, but if you can, it will help. It gives you more life. Yes, go ahead, please.
Hi, tmak.
Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay, so I think that my relationship with tmak dates far back as, I don't know, 2019, thereabouts. And to be honest, I think the very first time I met tmak or I heard him talk, in my head I was like, I'm not going to let this man go. I was going to hold on to him regarding, I don't want to know what's going to happen, but tmak will always be in my corner. So as far back as 2019, I think we had a retreat at the office. For those that does not know, tmak is also a consultant for companies, and it helps, what's it called? We engineer your company structure and all of that for the new year. So I met tmak in 2019, January. We went for a retreat, and the experience was new to me. I was still serving, and I don't know, that very first time I loved what I listened to, what I heard. The old retreats, I think, was 1 day or 2 days. We could not sleep. tmak was drilling us. We would wake up very early in the morning for exercises, several things, several brainstorming moments. And in my head, I was like, okay, I think I'm good for the year. And I think since then, January, I told myself I wasn't going to let tmak go, and I was going to find a way to make him my friend. And then I think that same year, I think I spoke to tmak about wanting him to be my coach. It should be that same year. And when we started, so I was trying to be consistent. I'm grateful that tmak, listened to me, gave me the time, created time for me to hear me out, to mentor me, and also to coach me all the years. tmak has actually been my coach for maybe 4 years plus now, because there is no year that I did not approach tmak to say, oh, tmak, this is what I'm going through. So, but before, one thing I noticed with tmak was it would be like, so it's more like before this thing starts happening, or before I start getting tensed at my job, I needed to have prepared for the year. So in 2020, just after NYC in 2019, I got promoted, and I was like, tmak, I don't know what to do. I'm not exactly sure. I think we went for training, and then at the training, I was like, tmak, I don't know. tmak wanted us to come and talk. I was like, tmak, I don't know what to say. But it was like, just go ahead and say whatever you wanted to say. Then I did that. Then the year, I think I was having some issues with my team members, because at the time I felt like I was the youngest, and then I had team members that were older than me, and I had issues with them listening to me. I would feel like they would feel like, wait, what's this girl saying? I'm older than her. And then I had one married person on my team too. So it was quite tough for me that year. Or every periodically I was meeting with tmak to help me go through that waters. And then yes, we were working together. He would give me assignments. So the assignment part was some parts that I run away from sometimes and all that, but I would come back and be like, okay, this is what I've done. Maybe after, like, if it's meant to be weekly, I'll come back maybe 3 weeks later or 4 weeks later. It's okay, I've done it. So, but tmak kept taking me as I am, like that, like listening to me, being there. And then in 2021, sometime in 2021, I lost my job, but it was my fault. And then I told tmak, I shared my experience with him, and he was like, oh, wow. And we went through that process again, I think in about 3 weeks, less than 3 weeks or so, I got another one, and I was telling tmak, this is not settled. This is not what I want. He was like, why don't you just go ahead? You don't even have anything, and you want to do shakara and all that. So we went on, and I'm glad that I took that. So along the line, while I took that, there was another one coming. It was a startup by some people, some of the guys that I've worked with. And I was like, tmak, what do you think? Do you think I should go? Because I needed advice. I needed counseling again. Do you think I should go? Then we looked at all the, what's it called? Maybe the pros and cons of the whole thing. And I decided again that I don't think I want to join these people. So I went on with my own job. One very good thing about the job I was on then was that the job taught me a lot of stuff that I'm currently using in my place of work now. Previously I was B2C, business to consumer or customer, but now that the job I got later on was B2B, business to business. That gave me the confidence, the morale that I needed to, advance. And it was something I've always wanted to do. Even though when I went for the interview, I had no idea of what they were talking about. I just talked my way into the interview and told them this is what I've been doing, or this is what I like. Although I was quite truthful that I've not done this before, but I've seen how it is done. And I was like, don't worry, if you give me this opportunity, I would name it. And luckily, good for me, not luckily, to God's glory and all, and to the coaching of tmak, that's very, the previous company, I passed my target. I met my target, I superseded it, and I was happy within myself. That yes, I was glad I took this opportunity and I nailed it. And then because I was already tired of that environment, I came to meet tmak again. I think I'm tired. Like, I want to move somewhere else again. I want maybe like some sort of new challenge and all that. And then it was like, okay, and along the line, somewhere in between, somewhere in between, I found another job that it was almost confusing for me, because thank God I didn't go to that other job. I don't even know how to explain this, but all along, even till this year, 2022, when I was like, oh, tmak, I'm set to leave again. And I was like, okay. But then, we talked about this whole process together. There was no year that I and tmak did not talk about my growth process, and there has been growth in my life like every single year till now. And I'm literally glad and grateful that I met tmak. When some people see me now, they'll be like, how many years of experience do you have? And I was like, please don't undermine me, I beg. I don't know. Then your time then is then. What we have now is much more different. So I don't think that's, and it's how much you can cope, how much information, or how much you're willing to learn as fast as possible. That is the main thing. And I think that has always that's one thing tmak will always say. Like, he has always been there to push, keep pushing and all. And I mean, I'm looking forward to 2024 to speak to you.
That Asimias is one of the people have submitted. You want me to share part of? Can I share part of your submission or no?
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So again, I didn't want this to be about me, really. Thank you for your kind words. What I was actually looking for was to just talk about the journey of preparing for life. Yes, for you, we have a history, and we've done this a couple of times over. So, but for those who have even just started, I just wanted them to share if they have any experience. Let me just share. I'm not going to share everything because a bit of this is kind of personal, but this is what I got when I was asking for vision board. Can you see my screen?
Yes, you can.
You can see the PDF. Let me try and make it bigger. It does not look like it's rendering properly. But okay, yes, I think it's my fault. So this is what. So one of Darasimi is currently in a relationship, so that buyers just stay off. But she was to put together her life plan, and she actually sent me a few. She shared her vision board with me, and that's what I just want to share a brief part of it. There's another one I'm going to share with you that I actually think was very good, which came from Ibrahim. I will seek his permission. I have seen him on this call as well, but if you see this now, I think this should be better. If you see this now, can you see? Can you see this now? I expect Ibrahim, I see your hand. I'm coming. Can you see? Can you confirm if you can see?
Yes, we can.
Okay,
I
so
can see.
Yes,
when Darasimi needed to put together a vision board, this is what she put up as something she's chasing next year. Don't know why I cannot get back to it. My system is not cooperating with me today. What have I not done well in terms of my view? Something I can't see, but that's an example, and there are many of them that she did. Let me find, what's the problem? Oh, okay, I think I know why. So it's extremely valuable when you, I wasn't meaning this to actually be like a commendation commendation service for me at all. That wasn't the idea, but it's good to see it's good to actually, I didn't even realize that we've come that distance now. Okay. So I encourage you, if you ever doubt this and you are not entirely sure what it's all about, I hope this gives you some confidence to say, choose your heart, choose this heart that is better, this heart that puts you in control. And that is Darasimi getting ready to walk down the aisle next year. And I'm going to talk I'm going to talk a bit about this, about particularly for the girls that are here, for the ladies that are here. Some of them think that getting married next year is like an impossible task. If you do not, it's just something you just wish and wait. But there is a lot more that you can do aside that. So I want to see how to demystify that a bit. So thank you very much, Darasimi, for sharing. Ibrahim, please, you got the floor. Let's try and keep it tight. It's getting towards 7:30. I know it's our last edition for the year, but let's keep it tight. Yes, go on. Ibrahim, you have the floor. Yes.
Okay, yeah. Good evening, everybody, and good evening, Sir Tmak.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, I'm so excited to be here. For me, this journey started around 2016 when I'm not sure Tmak can remember that 2016 IYC when we had one life plan program.
No, I remember that one, but I didn't know that that affected you actually. So that's interesting.
It actually did. So in that session, we were given a template to fill different sections of our life, feel what you want to get in the next, I think, 2-3 years or so. So I remember just at the spot, just filling in something. I just finished my service here that time. So I just filled in a couple of things. And then I think what I did not do, which he mentioned, was that after here when you go back to where you're coming from, please keep populating it as time goes on, things like that. So when I came back from that program, I just dropped the paper, and funny enough, I did not even know where I dropped it. But then somehow after we filled that thing, he just said, okay, I think he just told us that let's pray about it for like 2 minutes or something. I shall remember bowing my head down to say, God, this thing I've written, help me to do it, and all those kind of things. So life was just going on. I even lost the paper. So, but around 2018, I just picked up, I was ransacking, I think I was looking for something, and I wasn't even looking for a paper. In fact, nothing about the paper was in my mind at all, but I just stumbled on it, picked it, and read it. Lo and behold, 80% of what I wrote on that paper was done already. I was done with it in 2 years.
Wow.
So I was now, but as at that time, ordinarily my sense should tell me, oh yeah, do this again, but no, I just got busy doing other things and then started living my life by default. So, but I'm grateful for HeyCoach. I was following up daylight programs. I think on Facebook those times I used to see the Facebook videos, so I'll just follow. So I didn't know HeyCoach had started until we met in Port Harcourt last year. So tmak told me about HeyCoach, and I was like, okay. So he sent me the link, and I started watching the videos. So, and I am so grateful for that, because that has, in fact, it has impacted my life a whole lot. Now, fast forward to the last two sessions when we started talking about plan. So I was like, okay, what do I do? What do I do? And then I was just thinking, going around and all that. So I missed October session. So, but one thing I do is, if I miss it, I always go back to watch the video like 2 or 3 times, and then just get everything into my head. So when I watch October session, I answer, okay, 18th and 25th. 25th is the day for the session, the next session, and 18th is for the submission. And funny enough, I watched this video on the 16th. And I was like, no, my submission must go in before 18. I cannot. In fact, enough of the procrastination. So I had to sit down, take out some hours in my office, and tell them, see, I have something serious to do. My life is at stake here. I need to do something. So I sat down and thought about it, tried to write something. I was like, okay, should I reach out for a template? Something that told me, you'll be an unserious person to be asking for template on the 16th when they've said this thing since October, ending of October. So I was like, okay, let me just do something. And then I just put it together, and then I sent it in. And to my surprise, just 3 days after that, Mr. Tmak reached out to me that, okay, can we review this together? I was like, so he has time to look at this thing. I was thinking that, okay, maybe he's in the session, we'll now talk about everybody and just give a general review. So we had a session, and I went back and sat down and said, okay, I wasn't actually realistic with this thing, because if I look at it in the light of the session I just had, I cannot achieve all this in 2024 when the world is not coming to an end in 2024. So I just have to sit down again, okay, review it. What will you do? And just like he mentioned to me personally, connect with it, simulate it, do this, do that. I just jotted down all those things he was saying, and then I went back to my office again and sat down and said, okay, I need to do this, and then send back. So it's been impactful for me. And for me, right now, my 2024 has already started. So in my own sheet, some of my deadlines are this November. In fact, before this November ends, some of my preparation, I should close out some things about some hopes I have for 2024. So already now, in my own mind, my 2023 has finished, and then my 2024 has started. So I'm so grateful for that opportunity. There's something I keep remembering about what I've been in some sessions where tmak said that you cannot feature in a future that you cannot picture. So that thing keeps ringing in my mind, that the future that you need to create it now. And I think I'm glad that I took this step to be able to start creating a future. Though it might seem that why now, why are you starting now or something, but I think the second best time is now for me. So I'm so grateful for that.
So, thank you. I do not want this to go too long. What I want to do, Ibrahim, do I have your permission? Can I just share a page of your submission? Is that okay? Please?
Yes, I okay.
Okay, so I just want to share, this is what he did, and I found it very, I don't understand what my system is doing today. Oh, John, can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right. This is the sheet that the spreadsheet that Ibrahim put together, and I really loved it because what it has done is just to simplify. This is from him, by the way, very, very original to him. I have a different template that I will share with those who are interested. That one is more longer term. But what he did was to say, this is my goal for 2024. This is my why. These are the steps that I need to take. And this is what I need. And these are the dates. This is absolutely phenomenal when I saw it. Thank you very much for sharing this with us. And this is what I've shared with those who have subsequently then engaged me. I've shared this with Kunle, shared this with Darasimi, I've shared this with who else? I think one more person. And I am happy to share this, drop this on the WhatsApp group. I will take out the content on the Telegram group. But the messages, you have to be intentional. Make your why. So these are my feedback to you. Make your why compelling. Let it be a why that stirs something inside of you. Let it be a why that moves you. Then this requires steps. You need to make it granular to the point where you can, every time you look at it, you know what you need to do. I was talking to Kunle this evening, and I said, for those who are close to me, they know I love aviation, and I'm always talking about where you are flying. For this, you should not be flying at 30,000 feet above sea level. You need to come down to like ground level. So let it be. So I will write 2 papers. Absolutely critical. No English. I have seen some where we say save money. Save money doesn't tell me anything. I want to hear something like, I want to save 10% of my budget, or even better still, you know what you are earning right now. Save 10,000 naira every month starting from January 1. Yes, you are talking. You are talking. Or create a budget and implement it from. So make it action driven. Don't make it vague. Make it first person single. Let the voice be first person. Be intentional about it. And then what do I need? Be important. Register for ICANN classes by this date. Start classes by this date. Put in 1 hour every day. Whatever. I'm not sharing the details of what he wants to do beyond this, but I was excited by what he did because I was then beginning to ask him to say, you are planning like the world is going to come to an end next year. You are currently working. How many hours do you have left? That is where simulation comes in. The idea is not to think you can achieve everything in 1 year. It's to say, okay, that is why we started with ranking. So if you have put everything down and you have ranked, and you are clear that, okay, this is number 1 I want to achieve, then it means that out of your available time and resource, you prioritize that. Now, of course, life is not lived like you finish 1 before you can start 2, and you finish 2. No, some things can run together, but you need to slow down and look at your day. And I mean slow down. That's the hard part that people do not want to do. It's hard work. And you can't see anything immediately. It's like planting. It's like sowing. But if you want to reap, you must learn how to sow. So they don't want to do it. But if you want to do it, you're going to slow down and say, okay, I live in Lagos. Every day on average, I get out of my bed at 5. I get out of the house by 6. I get to the office by 9. You simulate it. So you know how many hours do you really have. When I was preparing for my ICANN in Lagos, I was working with UNICEF. Traffic was terrible. I had to optimize traffic time as part of my reading time. And I was driving, bad habit. I will open the book and put it on my lap. True life story. And on Third Mainland Bridge, if I want to memorize some formulas, I will look at it and I will try and memorize it to bed. Or there's some things I've worked before, I will study it again. So from here, you then look for this, you find that, then you create this. You need to get to that level, granularize it, operationalize it. Because once you get to that level, I keep saying it is not what you are going to achieve that is important anymore. It is who you are becoming. So this is critical. Take the time to do it. It is an easier hard than the hard of not knowing where you are going, being frustrated, being irritated. Now, let me land this like I said. I want to do this quickly and then I will take any last thing and then we'll stop. Let's talk about how a young lady can chase getting married next year and make it happen. Now, let me start by saying that this is premising on the fact that marriage is part of God's plans for you, and it is not something you are going to force. This is starting from the premise that you realize that if you need to let a bigger power, which is God, rule your life, it makes it easier so. But if those things are checked, if a young lady on this call has getting married in 2024 on their plan, let me go back to that spreadsheet. On goals for 2024, get married. Why? Why can be companionship, why can be biological clock is ticking, why can be it's what is next in the natural sense of order, done with school, good job, and why can be you do not want to be at the risk of living the kind of life you do not want to live, where you are under pressure. There are adults here. Different people can deal with sex differently. Some are not very high on it. Some are very high. And so there can be different reasons. Now, what are the required steps? That is really where I'm going. You need to break it down, like I said, to where you can act on it. So the first step, as an example, is how many of you ladies even know yourself? Who are you? When they ask you who are you, beyond my name is, my father is, I am from, I studied, I work, what else do you know about yourself? Many people make mistakes with marriage by doing marriage outside in. Tall, dark, handsome, rich, this, that. No. Marriage is easier and better when you do it inside out. Who are you? What's your temperament? What are your triggers? What are your ambitions? What are you chasing? Where are you going? What do you love? What do you hate? Who are you? What is your setting? How many siblings do you have? What is your family relationships? What is the thing? What are the things that are important to you? The clearer you are on these questions, the easier for you to spot who is a possibility. It saves you a lot of heartbreak because you will not even start certain things. Because 30 minutes talking to the guy, you will know whether there is a chance or not, whether it is a possibility or not. So the first step is get to know yourself. Create time, know yourself. The second, it can be, and I'm not saying it can be, you then say, okay, if I was a guy, or if you have a brother, if my brother is supposed to bring a woman home, what would I want to see in that woman for my brother? And then you list it. So you should be creating a catalog of the ideal woman. You are the woman, no, not the man. No. Create the ideal catalog for the ideal woman. Identify what it is, warm, friendly. We are differently made. There are people who are very unfriendly. They don't do it, but their journey has reduced them. They're always carrying face. They cannot give a smile. They are not relatable. They are very uptight, and then they wonder why they are not married. How is it going to happen? Are they going to kidnap you and do it by force? So when you have that list, it then helps you to see where your gap is. So 1 is to get to know yourself. 2 is to have that catalog. 3 will then be identify your own gaps. 4 will then be start to action those gaps. Start from the one that you think is the biggest burden for you. Find accountability partner. I'm just using this as an example. You will find out that if you do this exercise, even your mindset will be different. You know, there are people who wrestle. I don't have the time. But we all vibrate. All of us. We are energy. Human beings, we are energy. All of us, energy. energy. How many times have you heard things like is a bad, is a negative vibe, is giving negative energy? You feel it. Some people enter a room, they have not said a word, just know something is going on. Something is going on here. How do you know? There's energy in the air. Question: when you do this evaluation, if you find out that what you are giving off is negative energy, does it now not surprise you why you don't have people paying you attention? As you are trying to marry the right man, the right man is trying to marry the right woman. Nobody is looking for the one that you have to be sacrificing to God before you can get a smile out or know what is wrong with the person. There are people you can never, they will never let you know what is going on with them. And then you want to go and marry somebody. He has to be blind though for him to marry you because he doesn't want to go and marry a puzzle that he will forever be trying to solve in his own life. So, when you go through these kind of processes, you get into the new year knowing I need to become more friendly, smile more, learn how to cook, learn how to dress better, to be more decent, to relax, to be relaxed around people, to go to there are so many elehas in this world. They are inside Puda, their own Puda. You never find them anywhere. When it comes to class activities, once it's not lecture in school, they will not go. There's reunion, they will not go. When it comes to church or mosque, they just go, they come back. Where are you going to meet the person? Is it by even Joseph had to meet Mary? God didn't have to. God did not manufacture Joseph for Mary. So my point is, make it granular, connect with it, simulate, go through it. Start with the things you can do. There are things that are not within your control for everybody. Don't let that be your focus. Start with the one that you can do. It is usually not 1, 2, and then 2 and 3, and then 3 and 4. But lay it out as opportunities come up, seize them, run with them. It will be a very different year. I repeat, you will win. You will hit a lot of trophies. You will achieve more than what you plan to achieve. But that is only the icing on the cake. The real cake is that you will be becoming a different person. The who you are becoming is more important than the what that you will be achieving. And then there will be time down the line to share your testimonies and share your stories with us. So, from my end, I am done. I would like once again to just thank all the people who so far have participated in this journey. You notice that we shared this as what we're going to do by this date that you have on my screen. And now you guys have done, we are done. We've started the year. We are grateful to God for how He has kept us. And all I can do now as I land is to wish you a very Merry Christmas. This time next year. What's today's date? Today is actually Christmas Day next month. So I think it's a good time to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a trophy-filled 2024. If you do it this way, you get intentional about it, you push it, it looks magical, as in it's extremely magical what it does. You will not be the same. Why? Because it ain't over until you win. So it ain't over until you win. Thank you so much for keeping my company throughout this year. The Lord tarrying, we will get back to this in January. I will stop here and allow you to open your mic. And John, is that you? Okay, you are clapping. So I will open the mic. Anybody who wants to say any final thing, anything to share, any story to share, you have the floor. Otherwise, we will just draw the curtain on HeyCoach this year. And that will be it. So, open mic, you can type, you can talk, whichever one works. Let's do it. Anybody? Or should we just bring it to a close. Anybody?
Hello, sir.
Okay, yes, go ahead. Who is that?
Okay, it's Agubiade again.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So, the community is on what do they call this now?
Telegram.
On Telegram.
Yes.
Okay, so aside from Telegram, we can connect via LinkedIn, right?
Yes, you can find me on LinkedIn. Please do. I do not go there that often, so I'm not a social media person at all. In fact, my LinkedIn is outdated. I need to even go and update it. It's still carrying a job I did like second to the last job, so I don't do a lot of it. But yes, I go there once in a while.
Okay, I'm asking because I really am not a fan of Telegram. I don't like the way lots of things just pop up and pop up and pop up. So that's asking whether there's another way to connect.
We are on. We have Instagram. Yes, John. Which one were we having problem? Was it X? Was it Twitter? But we have Instagram. The reason why we actually did Telegram was just because one, Telegram allows you to have more people too. You can actually pin some message when people come in. Whatever has gone, you can set up Telegram such that anytime you join, you see all the history. WhatsApp doesn't have that functionality. Every time you join, you lose the history, and it's a pain to be repeating it because it's also been there. So, but you can reach out on LinkedIn. That's fine. We will have done WhatsApp, but WhatsApp doesn't have all these functionalities. So I hear you, but yeah, Telegram. I mean, LinkedIn also works. Just that you will not expect if a response as fast as you will get if it is on Telegram for me. Yes, that's all. But I'll see it eventually. Thank you very much. Yes, any final question, comment from anybody? Question, comment, final words. All right, so I guess.
Happy birthday.
Ogweni, don't just say happy birthday. I'm waiting for the gbosa. I'm waiting for the gbosa that you are going to send. I'm waiting. No, this is not English language. Otherwise, there's going to be trouble. And Okwe is reminding me that you can also send emails. But how do they get the email address, Okwe? So you can maybe John will drop the email address on Telegram and here for those who find it. That one I'm likely as quickly as possible, even though the instant messaging will always work faster. So thank you so much, everybody. It would have been this interesting without you. I'm glad that we're able to help one another to have had a better 2023. I am very happy for what God has helped to happen this year. I look forward to us doing bigger, better next year. So please enjoy the holiday, but don't forget, even though this is the last edition, you can still reach out. If you are working on your plan, we are always available to help you work on your plans every day, any day, this including into the new year. And it's actually a job that will never finish. So keep working on it. And like Darasimi said, don't hesitate to shout out if you need help or you have anything you want us to help you with. It's a step-by-step journey. And then together we grow together. And like I requested, for those of you who are very good at pushing, help us push this, not for us, but for the benefit of those who will benefit from it. We have a YouTube channel. It is called Development, Empowerment, and Leadership Initiative. John will drop the link again. We have over 160 different videos there that will benefit a lot of people. So let's just spread the word. Maybe we'll save one person or help one person. Thank you once again, everybody. Please hold on to just do one last survey for us, and then it will be Merry Christmas. Wishing you the best of 2024, and God be with you till we see again in the new year by the grace of God. Thank you.